are down to the wire in less than 25 minutes. It's 7:35 right now. Poll will close at 8 p.m. across most states, including Washington, D.C. We are outside of the Martin Luther King, outside of one of the voting center in downtown Washington, D.C. On the Martin Luther King Library, the icon, the library named after the icon, the civil rights icon. Inside, voters, the line is still very long. We spoke with one of the officials administering the voting, helping voters that are still coming in. We were told that it's been that way throughout the whole day, that that steady stream, people have to wait 2 or more hours in order to vote, but they said there have been no issue with any of their machine. It's just that some people waited until the last minute, until voting day, and to come in to cast their vote. In fact, we spoke to some of the voters here, and there was a guy that we spoke to off camera that told us that he was still waiting, that we are above the train line. There is a train below us. So earlier we spoke with some of the voters that are coming in here, and we spoke to a guy off camera that told us that he waited until the last minute. In fact, when he went in, he waited like for a few minutes and then he left. And I asked him, is he still planning to vote? He said, yeah, he will just do the drop box that you see right behind me over here. But I also asked him that why did he wait until the last minute to cast his vote? He said because it was still deciding between some of the two between the two candidates, the Democratic and the Republican candidate. Some of the issues that were important to him were the economy, the democracy, I said the affordability of everything, and as well as women's rights, protection of women's rights. I said he would like to see the Roe v. Wade that was overturned by the Supreme Court. He would like that to be restored. We spoke to another voter that came out here, and she was just very happy. She said it means a lot for her to cast this historic vote at this historic library, at this library named after an icon, a civil rights icon, to cast a vote for the candidates that she cast a vote for. As I said, poll will close. We've been canvassing across Washington, the DMV area, talking to voters today. There have been no issues in all locations. We spoke to some of the law enforcement, as we reported earlier. We spoke to some of the law enforcement, and they said everything has gone smoothly, and they do not expect, but they're keeping an eye out, but they do not expect any destruction. We are only, right now it's 7:35. Excuse me, ma'am, you just came out from voting?
I did.
Can you talk to us before you go?
Really quick.
Yeah, so
I just spent 2.5 hours in there.
so you just spent 2.5 hours there.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, but you're still smiling. Yeah. What are some of the issues that were important to you in this election?
Well, most of them, I would say I try not to vote on straight party lines. So voting for the federal election was very much important to me.
Okay.
I mean, I could go into details, but I'm quite biased.
Okay. I mean, it's fine if you want to go into details.
Yeah, I am not excited about another 4 years with a president who is so determined to keep the United States population divided. So I'm ready for some bringing together the American people, moving forward into the future, and hope, just participating in the process. So.
Why Why did you wait until today to cast your vote?
I work 16-hour days.
You worked 16
It was this or probably nothing, and I moved recently, so my voter registration was old, so I had to update it.
Oh,
It's
okay.
just yeah.
So you were able to come in and register today and then cast your vote.
Oh yeah, thank goodness.
Okay.
I know a lot of places don't allow for same day, so I'm
that
very
was-
lucky.
Yeah, that was you are lucky to be in Washington D.C. So that was
Yes.
very important too. Thank you very much.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for being out here.
Okay,
Have a
thank
good
you.
rest of your night.
You
Be safe.
too. You can see like people have waited. People wait sometimes 2-3 hours, but this election, as she just said, is consequential, very very important today. Let's see if we can get somebody else. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me. Excuse me. Okay. Well, we will continue to bring you. I'll see if we can talk to more voters. We spoke with some people earlier on, and you will see all of those reports. And later on, we will head to the White House again. Like I was saying before that interview, this is a significant and historic election. Tonight, we might not get all the results tonight or tomorrow, but definitely by the end of this week. And this election means so much. In fact, today while we were inside the library talking to some of the voters, we have the group of international observers that came in. One of the observers that I spoke with travel is from Georgia, the country Georgia, and he said this is significant for him to be present here. He even took pictures of the while we were inside, just to show, because we know like American leadership is important to the world, is important to America. Some of the people that I've talked to throughout this day and even before today, those like democracy is important, and restoring America leadership in the world are very very important to both male and female, to both men and women that older and younger that I spoke to. And that was one of the surprise, because we talk about Roe versus Wade, that was important to them, but American foreign policy, establishing, restoring that, was one of many of the voters that we spoke with today. That was their number one priority. American leadership in the world, American partnership, relationship with the rest of the world. Foreign policy was number one, and women's rights, and then the economic and immigration in that level. So again, we are going to see, excuse me, you just came out. Okay, so I think that is doing it for us here at this location, at this historic location, the name after Martin Luther King Jr., Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial Library, the civil rights icon that is Vice President, the Democratic nominee, Vice President Kamala Harris, win this election. If you remember, I have a dream that Martin Luther King in the 60s, that on that national mall, or that when he said, I have a dream, that it is children. And so that dream essentially will come true this week. I'm just thinking about that, like I'm even myself, I'm getting goosebumps. It's something that I didn't think about until just now, just looking at that name and making that connection that, this is already historic. But when he spoke those words, those remarks, when he delivered that remark their iconic remark, excuse me, are you guys just coming up from voting? Oh, okay. When he delivered that iconic remark at the National Mall on August, saying that he has a dream that the color of its children's skin will not determine. I can't recite the speech right now, but we know the significance of that, to have the first black female, South Asia, a multi ethnicity, someone that represents most of the world, to have her in that place. So that dream of that Martin Luther King, we if she's elected, we also come true. Of course, we've had a black um, president, to have a female president for the first time. Again, thank you very much for watching. We will be heading to the other location and also to the White House right now. This is the line. People at the Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial Library in downtown Washington, D.C. You can see inside, we just came from inside, talked with some of the people and voters, as well as spoke with voters outside also. People are waiting online to cast their votes. Is in less than 5 minutes. Poll will close across in DC as well as across other states. For everyone that is online, we have the opportunity to cast their vote. When I spoke with some of the officials that are the volunteers that are helping, the poll workers that are helping voters today, they said it has been this way all day, that steady stream of people coming in. And in fact, they said during the early election, it was also a steady stream. But today they were expecting this, because this is the federal election, the presidential election. There's more people that come in to cast their votes. But again, we also, while we are in here, you have the international observer that came in from Georgia as well as other countries to observe the U.S. election. Again, we are heading to another location right now. We've been traveling and we just wanted to bring this to you, that everything is going smoothly. People at this location they are waiting close to 2.5 hours to vote. But again, when they come out, there's a smile on their face, and you will be seeing more of that report, of those reports, if you haven't already seen it, that we already posted it. Again, we are heading to another location now, and then to the White House.